Hello, this is JilliBling, JilliBling.com, and I have a treat for you. This bundle called Forever Fern in the catalog on page 109 is the product suite, and it includes the hoops, the gold trim that we're going to use today. It's kind of like a braided or a twisted cord, like a baker's twine type twist. This vanilla kind of a woven ribbon. It includes these gold foil sheets. I probably should look at the exact names. The embossing folders, and the gold hoops. But we will be using just a few things from this. The paper is beautiful, and look at all these green colors that are coordinating. And they say that all neutrals match, go together, and all greens go together. And this is a study in all greens going together. And here is a stamp set, but it's a beautiful stamp set. I had no idea. I knew I liked it when I first saw it, but the gold hoops were on back order, gold hoop embellishment, and mine just arrived. And so I thought, well, this will be perfect for a July project. So what do you think? This project I saw on Instagram from Scrap Hacks. And I loved it. I love the use of the gold hoop. It isn't too much. Actually, it's a little bit understated. Vanilla on vanilla with lots of different green. Every different green that you pull out, it would work here. And it went together really fast. As a matter of fact, this is the second video that I'm doing today just because it went together so fast. When it came to stamping the inside, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do, so I just used all the same colors I used on the outside. And isn't that beautiful? So let's get started. So here's the gold hoops. We'll be using glue dots, dimensionals, and here are all the different greens. And these are the greens that were suggested in the product suite. It is soft seafoam, garden green, pretty peacock, shaded spruce, just jade, and pure pizzazz. And I'll list all these on my blog. We're primarily going to use the stamp set Forever Fern, and then just a little bit of a greeting. And these greetings are nice, but I thought that a variety would be good for class. And this will be a Technique Stampers class project. So here are a few other words to choose from. And on this one I used the thank you. But on the card that we'll make today, I'm going to use something a little bit different. And of course, there is a die set, and we'll be using quite a few of the different leaf die cuts, and they do all the work for you. So there's no coloring involved, and then there's die cuts to cut everything out. Let me get this over a little bit. It's okay if it frays a bit. Okay, so I'll put this here. I'll be pulling out one of these in just a minute. Glue dots we'll use. Okay. So here are the items that we'll need. And on this one, this embossing folder is subtle. You could very subtly tell. I love the vanilla on vanilla on vanilla, and you could just tell the difference in the layers because of the dimensionals. So we'll use this one for words, this for stamping the leaves on. This is for the inside. And I just wanted just slight green to show through. When I did this one, I did the peacock color, and at class you could choose from, there's all the different colors, whichever one you like. Here is the gold trim, and we'll make a little, might as well do it, make a little bow out of this, maybe. Might as well do that now and then put the spool off to the side. Okay, so there's a little bow. Okay, we'll use that in just a few minutes. Put a glue dot on it. Here's the gold hoop. If my hand was smaller, it'd be a perfect bracelet. And this is for the texture piece. Let me find that sample. You can hardly tell. Let me see how close I could get it. See this? This is subtle. And this time I think I want to use the embossing folder. It's called Tasteful Textile. And so I will use this embossing folder. And like I said, that's inside. Here's the subtle embossing folder that was used on the other one. So, get started. I'll take the base paper, fold it in half, and use my bone folder to crease it. Okay, and next layer, all this vanilla on vanilla. It's hard to see all these pieces. I'll try to keep them separate. So there's a base card. And you know, this one, I'm going to try turning it this direction, just for variety. So this piece goes here. I know you're like, I can't see it. I can hardly see it. And that's going to be put on with dimensionals. So I'll do that now. I'm just putting this jade piece here so you could see the difference in colors, because it's hard to see vanilla on vanilla. This went together so fast, and when I was stamping it, it brought me joy. I can't wait for you to use this stamp set. It's just so pretty. You'll see. If you think this is impressive, when you stamp it, you'll see how easy it is and how easy it is to be impressed by it. Okay, so I have that layer on. Next layer is the texture layer. That's right here. And this one is the Tasteful Textiles. Let me see if I get a little bit of a shadow on that so you could see it. Maybe, maybe not. I got really good light in here, so shadows are hard to find. Okay, so that goes on with 4 dimensionals. Okay, this is driving me crazy, so I'll use it. Okay. And there's just a little bit of a difference. One is slightly bigger than the other. Can you tell the difference? Just a minute. I have this light. Let me see if it makes a difference. Can you see it now? So it's just minorly different. Okay, and this is going to go on to the inside. Okay, so to build this, the hoop, that's for the words. The hoop I'll have right about here. The bow will go on later. So because I have this here, I'll do the words. What words should I do? You can do this. I'm just thinking, when would you use that? To a friend that makes me smile. I think that might be too big. Hello would be good. How about a little something? That to me is the right size. Okay, a little something. Right here. And I'm going to stamp it in the darkest of all of these colors, which is Pretty Peacock. You know what? It looks like I have one already stamped there. I could stamp it on this. See if it makes it easier to cut out. And I could pull out my paper trimmer and cut it. Ew, I have ink on me. And speaking of paper trimmers, the little trimmer that I got a few months ago, it is available, I think, only for $10. I think I paid a lot more than that for it. Before I said something, I should have had it here. And so that would be handy, or if you have a little trimmer, it would be handy. But your snips work pretty good, and if you're doing it color on color, such as vanilla on vanilla, if I don't cut this perfect, because it's going to be layering on top of vanilla, you probably won't see it much. So give it a try. Okay, so here is my words. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So now to stamp all these different leaves. So in the stamp set, I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because I'm a numbers type gal, look how many stamp pads I have. 6. Not that I numbered each of them. They all have numbers on them. And that is to make it easy for class. So when I flip this one over, it wants to go into spruce. So let's get started stamping these leaves. I can't wait for you to see how pretty they are. Okay, so spruce. Okay, isn't that pretty? It's so realistic. I know this is one of the distinctive stamps, but to me, I think that's just incredible. I love that. Okay, and what's next? How about this one, Jade? You could do them all in one color or just whatever colors you have. But I wanted to use all the ones that they suggested. But you know what's interesting is that goes with the designer paper. And I'm not even using the designer paper, but I love the look of the designer paper. Okay, use that one. So next is this one in pear. So if you get this and it's not turning out the images as good as you wish, I have a hint. And the hint is if it's under inked or over inked, you don't get a good image. If it's under inked, you'll get a lot of the detail, but it won't be dark enough. If it's over inked, it will just be a big blob. If it's under inked, go ahead and re-ink it and use the tip of the re-inker to rub the ink in. If it's over inked, you can take an old bone folder, or if you have one of those little squeegees, or even just a paper. I'm going to show you here. I'm not going to do it. But say that you just re-ink this, you have too much ink on it, and you could take an old paper, skim it across the top. You'll have a pool of ink right here, but then this area with less ink will work perfectly. Okay, so what did I choose here? That's garden. Which one did I do garden? Garden, one of these little leaves. So these little leaves, they're in two different directions, leaning toward each other. I'm doing them both in different colors, but just so you're aware, there's two different dyes for them, and there's two different leaves. Same, but different directions. Okay, so that one is garden. Peacock, which is more of a blue-green, but it certainly works. I'll hold these up really close in a minute. Isn't that pretty? I can't wait for you guys to do this. I have a feeling everyone is going to want this bundle. If I didn't have it already, I want it. One last left. Seafoam. That one came out just okay. I don't know if it's a seafoam pad. It looks a little blotchy. Okay, so I'm going to hold these up so you could really see them. Do you see all the detail in those? Wowzy. Wow. Okay, to make it even better, look at this. Bang, cut it out. Okay, am I wowing you? I'm wowing me. How easy could that be? No coloring, no cutting, and much beautiful. I don't even know which one I like best. Oh, you never want, when you run them through the Big Shot, you never want them to overlap. So I would take my scissors and just cut through here and then have them separate on the cutting pad. I don't know which one I like best. Glad I don't have to decide. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so I'll run those through, but before I go over there, see these here? There's no stamp to match that, but it's not needed. If I did those, oh, I probably should have done them in a gold foil. That would have been beautiful. But I want the ring to stand out, so it's fine that they're in a solid color. So that is, I'm going to do it in peacock. I'll do 2 of them in peacock and 2 of them in this soft seafoam. But again, these are going in different directions. I'll show you what I mean. See how these 2 are leaning this way, and these 2 are leaning that way? So I did 4, so I'm going to do 2 in one color. Okay, so on peacock, 1 this way, 1 that way. Seafoam, 1 this way, 1 that way. Okay, a little magic here. Did you hear me cranking the Big Shot through? Oh, I dropped one. Okay. So, to build that paper matches this one. Okay. So to build the front of your card, that will go on at the end. That will go on almost at the end. That I'm going to have there. Have the more bold pieces. This one is bolder than that one. This one is a little bit less bold. We want the bolder ones further down on the bottom. That one's even less bold. But these here are a little bit more dainty. So in other words, I'll show you what not to do. You don't want this one on top because it covers up all of the fine detail of the stamp. So with that said, this one will go first. Okay. This one, I put it over here because it has a swoop that way. I wonder if I could get away with it going here. So I'm going to put these down first, then I'll put dimensionals to hold the hoop down, and then I'll put more greenery on top. I'm going to try that. There's a little bit of adhesive showing. Okay, it's gone. And I know the words are going to cover here, so it's okay if the stem goes there. Which one is next most bold? Maybe this one? This one? I think right there. And because everything is so pretty, it's hard to do anything wrong. Oh, I see adhesive. I don't want to cover that up. I probably could lift it up if needed. Okay, this one I can already tell the branch, the bottom is too long. I'm going to have to trim it. Ooh, but that fills in the bottom part really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay, maybe this one. Oh, I need to put some more on top. Here's my words. Okay, so to hold the hoop down, find dimensionals. I want to make sure that the hoop is seen, but the dimensionals are hiding underneath the words. Maybe one more. Well, I guess it depends on where is this. This one, we go here. This one, maybe out here. Okay, so with that said, I'll put this here. That one I wanted to cover up the stem. I hope the words cover up that much. They're kind of small. I might have to move that. Oh, I still have this one. Is that getting too congested in there? That looks good. Okay, so I'm going to put a dimensional in here and then use this dimensional. And I know I haven't attached that one yet, but I have a plan. It's going to go right about there. So the stem is hiding under there. And then I'll put another dimensional right here, maybe a mini. Is this going together really fast, or am I lost in prettiness? Look at that. Oh, and then the bow. And the hoop is just kind of laying there. I might take a glue dot and roll it up underneath here. Okay, so these little things, everything else is glue dot. This is a brand new box of these. Okay, so, and I would put the glue dot on the stem, but I'm going to put it on the first grouping of leaves so it has something to hang on to rather than just a little bit of the stem. 1, 2 more, and then the bow. So for the bow, I'm going to take the glue dot, roll it up, burrito the glue dot. Now it's like a rolled up tortilla. And that's going to come, you know, I'm going to cover up this little open spot right there. Kind of covers up my words a little bit, but it's so pretty you could see through it. And now to place these, I wonder if I could tuck it under. I don't want to tuck it under. Ooh, right there. And then this one is, oh, that's going the same direction, so I'm going to put it over here. Well, this one can extend my what do you call this? My arrangement. So that made it stretch out a little bit further. It's looking a little bit dark over here. I like that there. And the last one, because it's looking a little bit peacock, peacock, spruce, I'm going to put this lighter color up in here. Oh yeah, that breaks it up quite a bit. What do you think? Oh my gosh, I love this stamp set. This is still kind of flopping around a bit. So I'm going to take another glue dot, roll it up. It didn't roll. And where can I hide it? How about right? It keeps sticking. Right there. Is that better? Okay, maybe another one over here. This one I didn't have a hard time with. Oop, that one didn't roll at all. Oh, that's lots better. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now for the inside. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I will put down the solid color. Just Jade, one of the new ink colors. Okay, so I think I'm done with scissors. So, to stamp this, what do I have on the outside? A little something. Love and laughter forever after. I don't think that works with a little something. To a friend that makes me smile. Oh, I like that. Here it is. So, as a rule, I like to have the stamp be on the block straight, even if the rubber doesn't look straight. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, I put it the wrong way. Duh. So I'm looking at the word friend, and I'm lining that up with the edge of the block the best that I can. That looks good. So when I just look at the rubber through here, it doesn't look straight, but I'm going to test it. And I'm going to test it right here on the bottom of the paper in, how about peacock? Because that's the darkest color, but you could use any color for the words. Ink it. Now I'm going to try to stamp it straight against the edge of the paper using the block, because that was my plan. The block is going to make it straight, and that's perfectly straight. Okay, so for the inside, now I know where that. Okay. Since I have out the peacock ink, I'm going to use this leaf right here. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. And this one is in jade. Because the inside of the card has jade, I definitely need to have jade a bit prominent inside. Maybe I'll do it twice. And spruce. This might be my favorite stamp out of all of them. It's looking kind of like a jungle. Wow. Wow. Next is pear pizzazz. little there and a little here. You don't need room to write, right? This one is garden. This is just a little one. And the last of the 6 colors. Look how they don't close all the way. I had to make sure to snap them closed. Soft seafoam. I think right here is where it wants to go. Okay. Now it goes in here. Isn't that pretty? What more do you need to say? Just look at how pretty it is. Oop, I'm using my old time that my friend Diane blinged for me. I love that thing. Okay. So there it is. What do you think? Okay, this is a good time to hit that little button off to the side that says like. Well, I think I like it enough for all of us. Aren't those beautiful? So this is going to be a project for later this month. It's going to be for the Technique Stampers too. And I will post the video at YouTube. And I will have all the products used in this project on my blog, JilliBling.com. And I'll have little thumbnails that will take you over to my store if you'd like to get this product suite. And thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait for you to do this project. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.